Our thoughts are with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as he recovers from an assault at the hands of Kevin Owens and Triple H last week in Brooklyn. We here at Metal would like to wish Ricky a speedy recovery so that he can return to work here in his training capacity as soon as possible. Thankfully, he was saved by a Trainline employee and only sustained minor injuries, but the fact remains that what Triple H is doing is unlawful and unjust, no matter what legal loophole he uses to justify his actions. Metal Wrestling welcomes legal proceedings from No Limits Wrestling Incorporated, as this will no doubt prove we are innocent of any corporate wrongdoing or contract tampering. This is a matter we hope to resolve as soon as possible as we head in to our revival event. Metal Wrestling is proud to offer you, the viewing public, an alternative to the same corporate sports entertainment narrative to which you become accustomed. We're back in the combat zone, ready to do what we do best, fight with honour for you.
Metal Wrestling is on the air live. This is the final episode before Metal presents Revival live on pay-per-view, where we will see Samoa Joe versus Drew McIntyre for the Metalweight Championship, Edge versus Jon Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match, plus the huge Lethal Lockdown match. But we have some insane action on the cards right here tonight in the Combat Zone. After all, when it comes to Metal Wrestling, expect the unexpected.
Second, what's this?
Oh my god, it's Bryan Danielson! Bryan Danielson is here on Metal Wrestling! Last we heard, he was released from his NLW contract, the former NLW Heavyweight Champion, the best technical wrestler in the world! The rafters are shaking, folks! This arena's come unglued here in the Combat Zone for the arrival of the American Dragon. What a time to be a fan of professional wrestling. It's moments like this which makes me proud to be on Metal's team. NLW and its EVP Triple H could try and take us off the air, but damn it, we got Danielson, baby. And what does he have to say right now in the Six Sides?
Man, it feels good to be back in a wrestling ring in front of you guys. You know, it was last November where I left $1 million contract on the table, making perhaps the toughest decision of my life to walk away, and with that, I requested my release from No Limits Wrestling. On that day, I left professional wrestling. Now fast forward to the present, and I can finally say that Bryan Danielson is back! And the American Dragon is now the Metal Dragon, because I am now a full-time member of Metal Wrestling. I lost my passion for the business after losing the NLW title, but now I have my sights set on rediscovering that passion for this sport that I love. In fact, I will be watching Metal Revival very closely. As I understand it, there's a match going down for the Metalweight Championship. And whether it's Samoa Joe or Drew McIntyre who wins that match, I'm letting both of you know
that whoever walks out as champion can expect me to kick their head in. But you know what? I'm feeling like a fight tonight. Do you guys want to see Bryan Danielson fight tonight? Oh man, get ready for some cowboy shit. It's the Hangman Adam Page coming out here to confront Danielson. And I'll admit it's surprising to see him. Last week Cody Rhodes essentially verbally tore apart Page, saying he was the biggest disappointment in wrestling, that he'd never live up to his potential. And it's well documented the man likes a drink, he's got his confidence issues, but hell, maybe he's got some courage after all, enough to come down to the ring and square up to the American Dragon. Looks like he's been on a couple beers already. I don't know about this one, man. He looks a bit worse for wear. Last week, some punk-ass piece of shit who calls himself the American Nightmare said that I was the biggest disappointment in the business. And hell, he could be onto something. I don't care anymore. No one believes in me. And to tell you the truth, I don't either. I tell you what, I'll fight you tonight. If you beat me, I'll retire. How about that? I'll leave wrestling.
You drunk, man. You don't want this.
Hey, I haven't been drinking. Don't change the subject.
Come on, man. Let's get you sobered up.
Oh, I see. You think you know I can beat you, huh? Hey, look at me! Fight me, you bastard. Oh, man! Slapping the cowboy shit out of him there with that strike. Danielson isn't here to play games, he's here to fight. And it looks like we've got ourselves the main event. Hangman Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson. If Page loses, he says he's retiring. What a night, just one episode away from Revival on pay-per-view.
What does it mean to be metal? What does it mean to be hardcore champion? Does it mean being a glorified stuntman? An indie filmmaker? Cute. Make you stand out, considering you weigh, what, 150 pounds soaking wet? It's a good way to get noticed, to get a shot at the champ. But when all is said and done, the attention will mean nothing when I beat you at Revival. There will be no rules. Balls count anywhere. We can fight all damn night, but the result will be the same. Sami Callihan walking out, still the hardcore champion. Darby Allin, the car crash that nearly killed you as a kid will feel like a damn bounce house compared to the beating I give you, you self-righteous little emo twerp.
Hey, break it up, you two, that's enough. Tensions flaring between Darby and Sami ahead of their hardcore title match. And well, folks, I just felt the ground shake, which must mean the arrival of the top dog.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, fighting out of Blackpool, South Australia, weighing in at 332 pounds, the top dog, Jonah. And his opponent currently in the ring, fighting out of Austin, Texas, weighing in at 232 pounds. Well, they call him the Natural, Dustin Rhodes.
The Natural set to go one-on-one with the top dog. It's Rhodes, it's Jonah, it's live, and it's next. I am challenging the Undisputed Era to a lethal lockdown match.
8 men.
We are going to end Metal Wrestling, baby.
1 steel cage.
I will beat you from one side of that cage to the other.
Lethal lockdown.
And that is Undisputed.
Metal Wrestling presents Revival, live on pay-per-view.
Welcome back to Metal Wrestling. This match in progress, the top dog versus the Natural. Is Dustin Rhodes, though, gonna give it up already? The referee's checking, but there you see. Chopping Jonah across the face, and now this may be it. But no, Jonah kicks out of the power slam. Dustin Rhodes up to this point has struggled to get out of the starting block. He is going for a suplex now, though. But Jonah powers him up for the brainbuster. I'll tell you what, I don't care if you are Dustin Rhodes, he is one of the best ever. However, Jonah
His power is too much for most men to overcome. And you know what, Dustin Rhodes finding that out now. Jonah gonna go to the top rope for something here, and oh wait here, look at who's at ringside. It's MVP and his new client, Shinsuke Nakamura. Now Jonah, off the distraction, gets superplexed to the canvas. And now Dustin Rhodes, looking to take advantage. Taking a page out of his brother's book maybe with a crossroads. No! A headbutt from Jonah. And the man from Black Forest, South Australia, dropping Dustin Rhodes right on his head with a Death Valley driver. And MVP and Shinsuke watch on for the tsunami! Jonah wins. Will MVP perhaps taking Shinsuke Nakamura out here to scout some of the competition? And after that impressive victory, I think the competition here on Metal is as strong as it's ever been. And you see the headbutt from Jonah and then the tsunami splash. And it's academic from there, folks. Jonah picking up the win. Well, you have to believe that MVP, he's one of two things, he's impressed or he's scared, but Jonah with the win. Wait, hold on a second. The American Nightmare barging past Jonah. And look at this, he's demanding a microphone. He doesn't seem to be too concerned about his brother right now. Could this be related to his attack at the hands of a returning Roman Reigns last week? Mr. Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, I think you and I have some unfinished business. We can talk or we can fight. The choice is yours. But I'm not gonna let you spear me and get away with it, so bring your ass out here now. Seems Roman isn't in any hurry to come out here, as if he's even in the arena tonight. Well, if Roman ain't coming down here, I guess I'm gonna have to walk to the back, march right up to the head of the table, and smack you upside the head myself. Well, Cody's a man on a mission, doesn't seem too concerned about his brother right now, receiving medical attention, but regardless, marching backstage on the hunt for the Tribal Chief himself.
Hey, we need some help back here, guys. He's seriously hurt.
Oh my god, that's John Morrison. Go and tell Austin John Morrison's match with Seth Rollins tonight is cancelled. He can't compete. John Morrison laid out, but by who?
Seth Rollins, I was about to ask you about your match tonight against John Morrison, but apparently he's been attacked and now the match isn't happening. What's your side of the story?
What, are you implying something, Joey? Did you think I did this?
Well, it's awfully suspicious that there was an X left at the scene, just like there was when Sami Zayn was found attacked last week. Are you perhaps feeling the pressure of being a target as Intercontinental Champion?
Pressure? This man sweats nothing and fears no one. He's cunning, calculated, the last true visionary.
That I am. Look, Morrison got saved a beating at my hands tonight, and that just proves that when you step up to the Messiah, you run the risk of being eliminated. Hell, maybe somebody was looking out for me, but I don't need anybody's help, let me make that clear. But if I inspire people to do things in my name, then that's out of my control. After all, these guys on Metal, I am a savior to them. And I am not done being the visionary that people look up to. Well, you may be a visionary, but who could have predicted that NLW's Atlas champion Keith Lee last week would answer your open challenge, requesting a champion versus champion showdown at WrestleMania? Question is, do you accept?
Keith Lee wants me at WrestleMania, champion versus champion. Let's just see if he even makes it to WrestleMania as champion first. Well, Seth with a lot on his plate as Intercontinental Champion, but coming up at Revival, we will see two new championships introduced. Firstly, the Heavy Metal Tag Team Championships. Before we went on the air, Metal Wrestling held several tournament matches. War Machine battled Proud and Powerful in a war of attrition. Ultimately, it was Hanson and Rowe who downed Santana and Ortiz to advance. we also saw the Kings of Wrestling battle the Gorillas of Destiny in a hard-hitting affair, where Claudio Castagnoli and Chris Hero defeated Tama Tonga and Tangaloa to move on to the final. Now the stage is set. At Metal Revival, it will be War Machine versus the Kings of Wrestling to crown the first ever Heavy Metal Tag Team Champions. There are also more qualifiers held in the Knockouts division. Last week, we witnessed Riho defeat Candice LeRae to move on. Ember Moon, who's already qualified for the match at Revival based on a controversial ending to her women's title match at NLW 100, and this has left 2 spots open for Revival. The first was taken by the legendary Gail Kim beating Nixon Newell in the Combat Zone. And finally, Trish Stratus defeated Sasha Banks in a hard-fought match to advance. Now it's official. Ember Moon, Trish Stratus, Riho and Gail Kim compete in a fatal 4-way to crown the first ever Knockouts champion. Revival certainly shaping up to be one of the biggest shows of the year. Don't miss! Ha, Fireflies! Well, you've had time to figure it out. Did you crack the code? 18916. It's a number cipher, of course. R.I.P. Rest in peace. It was right in front of you the whole time, Undertaker, but you're probably wondering why he wanted to fight you. Do you get it, man? I mean, sure, I'm sure your higher power, he wants him to face you because he wants to test you, Undertaker, inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania to prove if you are worthy of being in his illustrious group. But you see, Undertaker, he is also trying to test you. Do you remember Kurt Angle? He didn't get it. He was in denial. He still thought he was the wrestling machine of old, but he was a husk. A shell. And when he refused to let him heal Kurt Angle, the Fiend had no choice but to hurt Kurt Angle. And the same applies to you, Undertaker. See, you used to be the Phenom, the unstoppable force, but that's not the case right now, is it? You're not in control, that silly higher power is. You're just his puppet.
Hey, hold on a minute. What's that supposed to mean?
Oops, sorry guys, no offense. I meant it as more of a figure of speech. I mean, you are just a husk of your former self too, aren't you, Taker? Someone who needs to maybe give up the whole evil angle you got going on and maybe go bye-bye. You seem lost, confused, but he will put you out of your misery at WrestleMania. He will step inside a Hell in a Cell with you, Undertaker, in the hopes that you can be healed and set you free. But if you resist, man, the Fiend will have no choice but to hurt you. You can't run. You can't hide. When you step inside that cell, man, there will be no escape. Once you let me in. Bye for now. See you at WrestleMania, Undertaker. Haha, okay, bye. Bye. Very eerie words from Bray Wyatt. It will be Undertaker versus The Fiend inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, and if Undertaker loses, he's gone from the ministry. But before WrestleMania, Metal presents Revival live on pay-per-view, featuring a huge night of action, including some loaded title matches. First off, for the Hardcore Championship, the Hacker Sami Callihan defends against Darby Allin, Falls Count Anywhere, and anything goes. Plus, a fatal 4-way to crown the first ever Metal Knockouts champion. Ember Moon, Trish Stratus, Riho, and Gail Kim competing for the gold. In tag team action, Claudio Castagnoli and Chris Hero represent the Kings of Wrestling versus Hanson and Rowe of War Machine. Both teams undefeated on Metal, but who will walk away as the inaugural Heavy Metal Tag Team Champions? The Metalweight title is on the line in a match over a year in the making. Drew McIntyre finally gets his shot against Samoa Joe. These powerhouses colliding for the richest prize there is. And never before, perhaps never again, an exploding barbed wire deathmatch. Jon Moxley battles Edge. We have not seen Moxley since he was put through that barbed wire board earlier this year, and he's coming into this match looking for vengeance. And in the main event, 6 sides of steel, a lethal lockdown match, NLW vs Metal, Undisputed Era, fight Stone Cold, John Cena, CM Punk and Finn Balor in this company war. Once that roof with weapons lowers, all hell is gonna break loose. Do not miss Revival live on pay-per-view. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong. Together, you are collectively making the single biggest mistake of your life by stepping inside the 6 sides of steel at Revival. I have assembled an army to stomp a mud hole in each and every one of you. Now tonight I've decided to keep away from the arena as I don't want us to have any distractions until the pay-per-view. But come Lethal Lockdown, we will show you exactly why Metal Wrestling is the best professional wrestling company on the planet. Triple H, I hope you're watching, because we're going to send the Undisputed Era back to you the way they entered this world. Helpless, crying, and covered in blood. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. The raid is coming, and the titles are within reach. War Machine is the most dominant force that tag team wrestling has ever seen. The heavy metal titles are ours for the taking. Kings of Wrestling, get ready for war. We are ready for war. Not only will we beat you, we will expose the myth that War Machine is unstoppable. Claudio Castagnoli and Chris Hero ain't nothing to F with. We exemplify tag team excellence, and it's only a matter of time before we have the titles at Revival to prove it. Jonah the Colossus. What are you gonna do when the Shinsuke Nakamura train runs wild over you? The King of Strong Style is here in my Hurt Business because he sees my leadership skills are working for his career. And Jonah, hell, if you want a spot in the Hurt Business, all you have to do is ask. But just know, it's better to be with us than against us, if you know what I mean. In the Animal Kingdom, it's survival of the fittest. Opportunity knocks at Revival, for we will see new champions crowned, but who will survive? To me, it doesn't matter, because the alpha male wants it all. Whoever you are, whatever championship you hold, be warned, I'm coming for blood, and you will feel the pounds! You think I'm a stuntman, some goddamn joke, huh? Hardcore isn't a gimmick for me, Sammy. It's who I am, and at Revival, I'm gonna go ape and I will kick your ass. Time's up, Joel. Time to meet your fate. For one whole year, I have been screaming to everyone who will listen that you couldn't make me give up, that I never quit. At Revival, when the lights are on bright and the title is on the line, the result will not be the same as when it was in the Elimination Chamber. You got my number, do you, Joe? Here's the number you're going to be hearing after I claymore your head off. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre, new Metal Weight Champion. Well, a lot is going on heading into Revival. Those are just some of the words we took earlier tonight regarding the Revival pay-per-view, and Metal wrestlers looking to make an impact, one of them about to compete in this next match.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, fighting out of Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 187 pounds, Noam Dar.
And here's a look at Dar's opponent tonight, Monty Brown, who burst onto the scene here in a big way, pouncing EC3 right out of the ring, and as it turns out, right out of the company. The alpha male looking to dominate here in his Metal debut tonight. Alright. Seems as though there's been a mistake here. The only alpha male around here is standing right in front of you people. So let's get this party started. Bring on the big bad alpha to the ring so I can kick his head in. Well, ask and you shall receive. Here he comes.
And his opponent fighting out of the Serengeti, weighing in at 240 pounds. He is the alpha male, Monty Brown.
And Monty Brown sprints to the ring. Noam goes for the supernova kick, and Monty with the pounce. And this one's over.
Here is your winner, Monty Brown.
What a showing from Monty Brown. That is perhaps the quickest victory
I've ever seen in my days commentating. The alpha male running through Noam Dar. And oh my God. Speaking of running through, here comes the champion who's run through all of his competition here on Metal. And well, we heard what Monty said earlier tonight about wanting championship gold. Maybe Samoa Joe, the metalweight champion, takes exception to that.
Monty, I heard what you said earlier. You're coming for blood. Well, I have no problem spilling your blood if you even think about trying to take this title from me. And as far as my opponent at Revival goes, Big Bad Drew McIntyre. Drew, Noam Dar ain't gonna be the only one from Scotland getting his ass handed to him this week. You didn't quit last time, but for your sake, this time, you better know when to give it up. Otherwise, I will put you to sleep for good. And if you still want to talk trash before our title match, how about you come down to this ring and say what you said back there to my face?
Oh man, maybe we're going to get a preview of Metal Revival. And here comes the Scottish psychopath. Drew McIntyre not dressed for a fight tonight. But you can see in his eyes, he meant every word he said earlier tonight. Both of these men believe they should be the metalweight champion, but at Revival we will find out when it's McIntyre versus Joe. Oh, look out for Monty! Pouncing! Joe into McIntyre, and now the fight is on. Monty Brown causing a circus here. And folks, we're going to try and get some order out here.
Wow, well, as officials try and sort this out, we still have our main event to go here tonight. Earlier this evening, we saw the debut of Bryan Danielson on Metal Wrestling. He has left NLW and he is here on our show. He made an open challenge, which was accepted by Hangman Page, who hasn't been in the best mood recently. He said he would retire if he lost tonight, and after things got physical, the match was made, and it's coming up right now.
Your main event tonight is scheduled for 1 fall with TV time remaining. Introducing first fighting out of Harris Creek, Virginia, weighing in at 229 pounds. Hangman Page.
A huge main event to whet our appetites for the pay-per-view. Here comes the Hangman. All sobered up after Bryan slapped him, it seems. Obviously feels unsure of himself, but maybe this match will change that.
Wait. Well, this match should change it, but what the heck? Oh, for God's sake, it's the Undisputed Era! The Undisputed Era here on Metal, and they've attacked Bryan Danielson, and now, what the hell is Edge doing out here? Edge spearing Hangman, and oh my God. Bringing out a barbed wire table. The Undisputed Era, meanwhile, in the backstage area, look at this. It's Drew McIntyre. And now Cena and CM Punk, Team Metal. And Samoa Joe. Wait, what the hell happened to Samoa Joe? Well, a fight's broken out before Lethal Lockdown in the backstage area, but out here, Edge wants to send a message to Jon Moxley. And he may get to do it in person. We have not seen Moxley since January, but where is he? And there is the Death Rider himself! And oh my God! Covered in barbed wire, running at Edge, crashing through the table. Mox is insane! Oh, look out here! What the hell is going on? It's the Tribal Chief! For the second week in a row, Roman Reigns laying out. The competition is standing tall. What the hell's going to happen when Metal Wrestling presents Revival?